In the United States, about 6% of the population is either in the military or has served in the military. This correlates to celebrities as well. So without further ado, let's take a look at some celebrities that served in the military. Our first celebrity that is a military veteran is the Supreme Admiral of the Galactic Empire himself, Darth Vader, or more accurately known as James Earl Jones. While completing his degree in preparation to transition to med school at Michigan State University, James joined the college's ROTC program. While in ROTC, by all accounts, he was an outstanding cadet that was a member of the Pershing Rifles Drill Team. In 1953, after graduating with his undergrad, he decided that he wanted to pursue his passion and enlisted in the Army instead of following the path to become a doctor. He ended up being shipped to Fort Benning, Georgia and completed the Infantry Officer Course. Immediately after, James Earl Jones wanted to continue to push himself and decided to undergo the hardest leadership training school in the military, this being Army Ranger School. Again, he would succeed at becoming Ranger qualified. After completing these tasks, James was transferred to the 38th Regimental Combat Team in Colorado, where he led the cold weather training camp. After 2.5 years in the Army and being promoted to first lieutenant, James decided to leave the military and follow in his father's footsteps and pursue an acting career. After putting himself through school with his GI benefits and working as a janitor, he would land his first significant role as Lieutenant Lothar Zog in the 1964 film Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and The Love Bomb. Although James Earl Jones is most iconically known for his voice acting of Darth Vader in the original Star Wars of 1977, or Scar in The Lion King, he also portrayed military members in movies such as Admiral Gear in The Hunt for Red October, Patriot Games, and Clear and Present Danger, and Sergeant Major Goody Nelson in the movie The Garden of Stone, which is a personal favorite of mine because it portrays the Old Guard, which is the unit I served in. I also found it interesting that you can buy his uniform from that movie on the site called the Golden Closet. If you pay close attention, it looks like the buff strap is removed, since it is a unique identifier for the Old Guard. Unfortunately, Mr. Jones passed away in 2024 after being in over 100 films. My favorite quote to remember him by is, "You don't build a bond without being present." The second veteran we're going to take a look at is Hugh Hefner, the creator of Playboy. Hugh enlisted in the Army after graduating high school at age 18 in 1944. He served from 1944 to 1946 as a clerical typist clerk at Fort Admiral, Oregon, and Camp Pickett, Virginia. He finished his military contract as a PFC in the First Corps. After his military career and graduating from the University of Illinois with a degree in psychology and a minor in creative writing, he would go on to having a couple writing jobs. This was his obvious passion since he also created comics for the Army newspaper at the bases he was stationed at. Well, less than 7 years after leaving the Army, he would borrow $8,000 and go on to founding Playboy magazine, and the rest is history. Hugh didn't forget his roots from the Army. During the Gulf War, Hugh had Playboy initiate Operation Playmate. To motivate troops that were overseas and keep morale high, soldiers could receive autographed letters from Playmates. He would pass away in the year 2017. Hugh's most inspirational quote is, "Life is too short to be living someone else's dream." The third veteran on this list is the legendary guitarist Jimi Hendrix. In 1961, at age 19, Jimi enlisted in the Army. His enlistment was unique since it was an ultimatum. Jimi had been caught in stolen cars twice as a young adult. The judge gave him the choice to either join the Army or go to jail. Jimi made the smart choice and joined the Army. After completing basic training at Fort Ord, he was sent to Fort Campbell to be part of the 101st Division. He would then be sent to airborne school, which he reportedly did not enjoy. Reports from his superiors conveyed that the Army wasn't for Jimi. He often would be caught sleeping on duty or would be MIA during evening counts. His passion was guitar playing and going out to see concerts. After about a year in the Army, Jimi would be given a general discharge under honorable conditions. His platoon sergeant was in the process of discharging him for neglect of duties. But there are conflicting reports that he was injured during a parachute jump, and that injury caused him to break his ankle to the point of discharge. Jimi would go on later to sign his first record deal 3 years after the military. Unfortunately, Jimi would pass away a few years later at the age of 27. One of his most impactful quotes is, "Knowledge speaks, but wisdom listens." The fourth veteran we are covering is Adam Driver, another notable Star Wars veteran. Adam enlisted in 2002 at age 18 right after high school. He would complete his basic Marine Corps training at Camp Pendleton, going to serve as an 81mm mortarman in the 1st Marine Regiment. Adam was doing well in the Marines, reaching the rank of Lance Corporal. After 2.5 years, he would suffer a fractured sternum in a mountain bike accident. To his disappointment, he would be medically discharged. 6 years later, Adam would land his first significant acting role in the HBO series Girls. Nowadays, he is best known for his portrayal of Kylo Ren in the Disney Star Wars films. Adam has been in over 40 film productions in his career. In 2006, Adam co-founded the organization Arts in the Armed Forces with his wife. The charity aims to bring artistic experiences in film and theater to the service members in the armed forces. A quote from him about his military service is, "In the military, you learn the essence of people. You see so many examples of self-sacrifice and moral courage. In the rest of life, you don't get that many opportunities to be sure of your friends." The last veteran we're going to cover on this list is Bob Ross. In 1961, 18-year-old Ross enlisted in the United States Air Force. He was put in to serve as a medical records technician. He ended up serving a full career totaling 20 years in the Air Force. He ultimately retired as a master sergeant after serving time as a first sergeant for the Elson Air Force Base in Alaska. During his time in the Air Force, he developed and refined his passion that would become his next career, painting. 2 years after retiring from the military, Bob would sell his first painting in the beginning of 1983. That same month, he began his show, The Joys of Painting. Bob would spend the next decade teaching others to paint and become an icon for the relaxing and positive demeanor he had. Bob would pass away age 52. Even though he has been gone for over 3 decades, his influence and legacy continues to this day. A quote that summarizes his career and the impression that he left is, "There are no mistakes, only happy accidents." If you made it to this point in the video, I appreciate you watching. If you like this type of content, please leave the video a like and a comment. If you want to see more military content, please leave the channel a subscription. Remember, take care of yourself, take care of each other. Till next time.